Hey guys, cleanblade here, bringing another Pokemon TCG Online deck profile, and today we're looking into Houndoom Mill. This is a standard deck, and we're going to keep it standard. I don't think it'll be very good in expanded just because of the way the format is, so that's why we made it in standard, and so far it's doing really well, so let's jump straight into the list. We are running 3 Bumblebee, just for the burrow attack. Occasionally we'll use its other attack and get a card back from our discard into our deck, but that's only to not deck out and stuff like that, but we should be the ones decking out, so that's why we use the 3 Bumblebee. Then we're running 1 Shaman EX just for setup, consistency, super scoop ups, all that stuff. That's why we run the Shaman EX. Then we're running 4 Houndoom EX, Melting Horn, MVP of this deck. 100%, just Houndoom's so good, we can super scoop it up, get a fresh one back to our hand, put the new one down. It can take more damage. It's way better than Bumblebee, so that's why we're running the 4 Houndoom EX. Now jumping into items, because we do only run 8 Pokemon, is first and foremost the most important card I'd say is Crushing Hammer. We're running full Crushing Hammer. I feel as if you can deny energy, you just win the game majorly. Seeing we can mill energies, stuff like that. So Crushing Hammer is really, really good in this deck. Then probably the third most important card would be Enhanced Hammer. We're running 2 Enhanced Hammers. We really dislike those fighting decks with strong energy. We don't like seeing them get set up, so that's why we're running the 2 Enhanced Hammers. Then we're running 2 Level Ball, because Level Ball is really strong, allows us to get Bumblebee out, plus it's just a card we can ditch out of our hand for Shaman. So that's why we're running the Level Ball. Then we're running 1 red card. I feel like red card, if you open it, it's really, really good in this deck. It just denies your opponent. You can put it so that they hopefully don't draw any energies, stuff like that. So that's why we're running the 1 red card. Then we're running 1 Super Rod, just because Super Rod is good in this deck. We're able to get back Bumblebees and stuff like that, and energies, and put it back into our deck. So yeah, why not? And Houndooms if we wanted to. So that's why we're running Super Rod. Then our second best card in the deck, I'd say, is Super Scoop Up, where we can just pick up our Houndooms as long as we're not versing a water matchup, if that makes sense, because we don't want to get hit for weakness, because then 50 damage turns into 100, stuff like that, and we really dislike that. So yeah, just say it. But Super Scoop Up just allows us to pick up our Houndooms, promote a new one, bam, fresh Houndoom, rebench it, all that stuff. So Super Scoop Up's the second best card in this deck, hands down in my opinion. Then we're running 1 switch, just in case if something gets head ringered, stuff like that. We are running the 1 switch, so we don't have to attach too many energies, all that shenanigans. Then we are running 4 trainers well, consistency, 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 to be able to get Crushing Hammers, Enhanced Hammers, Super Scoop Ups, Super Rod when we need it, all that stuff when we need it. That's why we're running the trainers mail. Then we're running 4 Trick Shovel. Trick Shovel just kind of becomes the MVP of the game during late game, if that makes sense. When they basically are running low on cards, you can basically discard 4 cards from the top of their deck in a turn, and they just kind of lose, because you can go Trick Shovel, Melting Horn, and they lose even though they think they're safe because they have 4 cards, and they already know what you're doing, if that makes sense. So that's why Trick Shovel is really, really good in this deck. Then we're running 3 Ultra Ball just for consistency, get Houndooms, Bumblebees, Shamans when we need it, a little bit of draw, all that stuff. So that's why we run 3 Ultra Ball. Then we're running 4 VS Seeker, because VS Seeker is good. It allows us to get more Lysanders, Birches, Sycamores, Rosics, all that stuff. So that's why we're running 4 VS Seeker. For supporters, we are running 1 Judge. Judge just limits both players' hand sizes, so if your opponent gets a lot of cards off of mulligans and stuff like that, we can judge them. Plus, if they get too many cards off of prizes, we can judge them, and hopefully they don't get very good cards and all that stuff. So that's why we're running the 1 Judge. Then we're running 1 Lysander. Lysander is good for if they have a really heavy Pokemon as an attacking Pokemon. By heavy, I mean big retreat cost. And then we can just Lysander something out in the back that, let's say, still has a heavy retreat cost. And yeah, then they really can't do anything, and you just get free Melting Horns off, and that's what they're running Switch, and if you don't mill their switches, all that stuff. So yeah, that's why we're running the Lysander. Then we're running 4 Birches, because Birch is just super good, so we're running the 4 Birches. In Standard, we just kind of have to. If we get the tails, we just suck it up and draw the 4, but if we get the heads, we're happy. And yeah, that's basically how Birches goes. Then we're running 2 Sycamore, because we don't want to discard too many cards ourselves. Even though it can lead to kind of slower paced hands, but this deck is slower paced, and we are trying to deck them out, so that's why we can get away with the 2 Sycamore. Then we're running 1 Xerosic, anti-special energy for days, plus we can get rid of float stones for Lysander the next turn, stuff like that. So Xerosic's pretty good in this deck. Then we're running 3 Silent Labs for a Stadium. Not only 3 because we don't really need to win the Stadium War, if that makes sense. We can just kind of have this out here turn 1 just to stop any Shaman plays turn 1. Then after that we could care less, if that makes sense. So that's why we're just running the 3 Silent Lab. Then for the last of our item or trainer cards, we are running 2 Headringers. Now this is mostly for the Toad matchup, stuff like that, because we do not like being Quaking Punch in this deck. We're a very item-based deck, so Quaking Punch kind of hurts. Same Giratina kind of hurts a little bit too, but not too much. Seeing if we Headringer it, it really can't do much for a very long time. So that's why we're running the 2 Headringer. Now for our energies, we're running 8 fire energy, and that is it. Now the deck overall I'd say is very consistent. I've only lost 1 game with the Houndoom EX deck, and I've only been playing it for a couple days though, so I can't really say how consistent it is, but it's pretty consistent. I've played over 10 games with it, and I'm really liking this deck, so I hope you guys like it too. Hit the thumbs up button down below if you do, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.